There exists a truth so near, so intimate, that it dwells within you from the moment you draw your first breath. Yet it remains veiled, a secret whispered only to those willing to listen. This truth concerns two forces that coexist within your being, often confused as one, yet radiating from entirely different origins. Their names are ancient, their nature profound: the soul and the spirit. Many use these words interchangeably, as though they were synonyms for the same invisible essence. But to do so is to live in a beautiful confusion, to hold two distinct universes in your hands without recognizing that one moves while the other remains still. One vibrates while the other eternally radiates. Understanding their difference is not a philosophical exercise. It is the key to unlocking the highest frequency of your existence. Imagine yourself as a traveler entering a vast and luminous temple. You cross the first threshold and discover chambers overflowing with memories, emotions, joys, and sorrows. The walls are inscribed with the story of your life, every triumph and every wound, every love and every loss. This is the realm of the soul, the sacred space where your history is preserved, where your passions ignite and your fears take root. But if you walk deeper, beyond these outer sanctuaries, you arrive at a secret chamber, silent, luminous, untouched by time. Here, there is no form, no narrative, only pure vibration. Here dwells something that was present before you were born and will endure long after your breath ceases. This is the domain of the spirit, the eternal spark that connects directly to the divine, the changeless fire that sustains all things. The confusion arises because they coexist within you, like two rivers intertwining, each with its own current, its own destination. The soul is the current that makes you human, that grants you identity and sensitivity, that allows you to love and grieve and dream. The spirit, in contrast, is the vastness that transcends you, the reminder that you are not merely flesh and memory, but a fragment of a greater consciousness. In this journey, we will descend into the mystery that separates and unites these two forces. We will explore their origins in ancient wisdom, witness how they dance together in your inner temples, and discover the art of aligning them into a single luminous chord. By the end, you will understand not merely as an intellectual exercise, but as a lived recognition. Within you burns a bridge between the human and the divine, between what changes and what eternally remains. From the dawn of human consciousness, the greatest minds have grappled with the architecture of the self. Philosophers, mystics, and sages across every civilization recognized a fundamental truth. Within the human being dwell two distinct principles, each with its own nature, its own purpose, its own eternal signature. In ancient Greece, Plato spoke of the soul as a charioteer, commanding three horses: reason, passion, and desire, all struggling in different directions. Yet beyond these warring forces, Plato intuited something greater, a spark that did not belong to the shadowed world of illusion, but to the realm of eternal forms. This was the spirit, the pure principle that connects us to the divine and unchanging. In the Hindu tradition, this distinction appears as Jiva and Atman. The Jiva is the individual soul, burdened with desires, shaped by accumulated karma, condemned to the wheel of birth and rebirth. But the Atman, the eternal self, is identical to Brahman, the universal consciousness. The Jiva changes, reincarnates, evolves. The Atman never wavers, never diminishes, never dies. It is the witness of all becoming, forever untouched by time. The ancient Egyptians understood this profoundly. They distinguished between the Ba, the soul containing emotion, personality, and individual character, and the Ka, the vital principle and eternal essence that transcends death itself. For the Egyptians, maintaining harmony between Ba and Ka was essential for the soul's journey through the afterlife and its ultimate union with divinity. Even in Taoism, where wisdom speaks through symbol rather than doctrine, this duality appears as Hun and Po. The Hun is the ethereal soul, connected to dreams, visions, and the celestial realms. The Po is the earthly soul, bound to the senses and the material world. Together they compose the human being, yet only the Hun aspires to return to the heavens, while the Po dissolves with the body. What these cultures reveal across centuries and continents is consistent. The soul serves as a bridge. It holds the imprints of time, the scars of experience, the fragrance of memory. The spirit appears as that which does not change, that which always existed, even before your birth. The soul is the traveler. The spirit is both origin and eternal destination. When we recover this ancient distinction, we discover that the soul is the book of our life, still being written, while the spirit is the invisible ink that makes that book possible. To truly understand the difference between soul and spirit, you must look within yourself as one gazes into an ancient temple. There are outer chambers filled with visible symbols, and there is a secret sanctuary where silence reigns and light burns eternal. The soul and the spirit are these two dimensions. One, the echo of experience. The other, the eternal spark that sustains all existence. The soul is the narrator of your story. It is woven from recollections, emotions, desires, and dreams. It is the sum of every tear and every laugh, of the wisdom inherited from your ancestors, and the invisible marks left by encounters with other human beings. The soul is like a garden in constant transformation. Some flowers bloom brilliantly, others wither away. Certain seeds wait in darkness to germinate at exactly the right moment. This garden can flourish with extraordinary beauty or become overgrown with weeds, depending on what you plant within it. The spirit, by contrast, never changes. It does not bloom or fade, does not rise or fall. It is the sun that illuminates the garden. Though seasons pass and flowers wither, the sun continues its eternal burning. Thus, the spirit is your most pure and eternal part, the aspect that belongs neither to time nor to space. While the soul defines itself through its journey, the spirit defines itself through its permanence, through an immutability that no circumstance can touch. A clarifying metaphor is the ocean and its waves. The soul is like waves. They rise and agitate, crash against rocks, recede and rise again. Each wave is distinct, each movement singular and unrepeatable. The spirit, in contrast, is the ocean itself, vast, infinite, remaining far deeper than the surface agitation. Without the ocean, there would be no waves. Without the spirit, there would be no soul. What makes this relationship so sacred is that both are intimately connected. The soul requires the spirit as a traveler requires a compass. When the soul becomes disconnected from the spirit, it loses itself in a labyrinth of emotions, desires, and attachments. It can become imprisoned by guilt, fear, and anxiety, forgetting its true nature. But when the soul opens to the spirit, it discovers clarity, strength, and purpose. It is as though the wave suddenly remembers it belongs to the sea, and in that remembering, finds peace. Now we arrive at a profound truth that transforms understanding into lived wisdom. The soul vibrates, but the spirit radiates. These are not merely poetic words. They describe the actual frequency of each force and how they operate within your being. Vibration implies movement, oscillation, variation. The soul vibrates because it responds to the world around it. It rises with joy and descends into sorrow. It vibrates at the frequency of hope one moment and despair the next. This is not a flaw. It is the soul's gift and its challenge. The soul is designed to feel, to experience, to learn through the dance of opposites. Like a tuning fork struck by the hammer of life, the soul resonates with whatever frequency surrounds it. This is why your emotional state has such power. When the soul vibrates in low frequencies, dominated by fear, envy, shame, or desperation, your entire being feels heavy, contracted, trapped. The body tenses, the mind narrows, and possibility shrinks. But when the soul vibrates at higher frequencies, gratitude, compassion, love, wonder, your entire being expands. You feel lighter, more capable, more alive. This is not imagination. It is the actual physics of consciousness. The spirit, however, radiates. Radiation is different from vibration. Radiation does not respond to external conditions. It emanates from an internal, constant source. The spirit does not rise and fall, does not change with circumstance. It radiates continuously, eternally, at the highest frequency imaginable, the frequency of pure being, of absolute truth, of unconditional existence. The spirit knows nothing of density or confusion. It only knows clarity, wholeness, and light. Here lies the central work of spiritual elevation, to align the soul's vibration with the spirit's radiation. This alignment is not about making the soul disappear or forcing it into stillness. It is about gradually elevating the frequencies at which your soul naturally vibrates, so that it resonates with the eternal song of your spirit. When your soul vibrates in harmony with your spirit's radiation, something miraculous occurs. Your emotions become clearer, your intuition becomes sharper, your choices become wiser. You are no longer a leaf blown by every wind. You are rooted in the eternal, even while moving through the temporal. This is the goal of all spiritual practice, to create a bridge where the mutable vibration of the soul dances in perfect attunement with the immutable radiation of the spirit. Knowing that soul and spirit coexist within you is merely the beginning. True transformation emerges when you consciously construct a bridge between these two dimensions. This bridge is built not with physical materials, but with practices, attitudes, and silences that refine your inner frequency. Here are 5 living keys that will teach you to remember your eternal origin. First, silence as the language of spirit. The soul expresses itself through words and emotions. The spirit, however, speaks in silence. When you pause and listen beneath the mental noise, the spirit reveals itself. A deep breath before reacting, contemplating a sunrise without seeking explanation. These moments allow your soul to cease being an echo and become a receiver of eternity. Second, gratitude as the tuner of your soul. The soul vibrates at many frequencies. Fear lowers it, but gratitude elevates it profoundly. Gratitude is an alchemy that transforms what you possess into abundance and what you lack into opportunity. When your soul fills with genuine thankfulness, it resonates with your spirit's pure frequency. Make gratitude a daily ritual. Upon waking, thank your breath. Before sleep, thank what you learned. This simple practice opens invisible doors. Third, the body as a temple of connection. The body is the altar where soul and spirit unite. Caring for your body is reverence, a conscious posture, deep breathing, walking with presence, all seal this union. When your body dwells in harmony, your soul finds equilibrium and your spirit radiates without obstruction. The straightness of your spine and the barefoot touch of earth are keys that awaken ancestral memory. Fourth, compassion as a mirror of spirit. When you practice compassion, your soul expands beyond itself. By witnessing another's suffering, the soul remembers it is part of something greater. That greater whole is the vibration of spirit itself. Compassion attunes your frequency closer to the eternal fire that never extinguishes. Fifth, intention as your luminous compass. Nothing in the soul moves without intention. Each thought carries a seed of energy. When born from luminous intention, it becomes a tree nourishing many. Set your intentions consciously, asking not only for yourself, but in harmony with the greater good. Conscious intention aligns your soul with your spirit's eternal direction. By applying these keys, your life transforms into a conscious path where every gesture becomes an offering, every moment an opportunity to elevate your frequency. You have now journeyed through the distinction between soul and spirit, through ancient wisdom and modern understanding. But the true revelation awaits not in knowledge, but in lived experience. The soul and the spirit are not adversaries to be conquered. They are two dimensions of a single being, destined to dance together in luminous harmony. The soul, with its emotions, dreams, and memories, is like a manuscript eternally being written. Each day adds new sentences, some radiant with joy, others touched by sorrow. The spirit, in contrast, is the blank page upon which all can be inscribed. Without that page, the text would have nowhere to exist. Without the text, the page would remain forever silent. This is the sacred relationship, inseparable, complementary, eternally necessary. Ascending to your highest spiritual frequency does not mean rejecting the soul or despising the human experience, to grasp only the eternal. It means allowing your soul, with all its accumulated wisdom and experience, to resonate in the same melody as your spirit. It means learning to recognize in every emotion, even fear, even sorrow, an opportunity to return to center. It is like tuning an instrument so that the music it produces does not distort the melody, but expresses it in its truest form. When you achieve this union, something profound transforms. Your vision of life shifts entirely. You no longer see yourself trapped solely in the fluctuations of existence. Instead, you discover the vastness of the ocean beneath each wave. You realize you are simultaneously the traveler and the horizon, the river and the sea, the echo and the source. In that recognition, everything gains new meaning. Problems become teachers. Losses become thresholds toward greater understanding. The highest spiritual frequency reveals itself not as a distant state reserved for the enlightened few, but as a daily practice of remembering. Remember who you are beyond passing emotions. Remember that your spirit was never broken. Remember that your soul always has the chance to return home. Within you dwells the fragility of humanity and the grandeur of eternity. This is your final invitation, Attune your soul to your spirit's frequency. Allow both to embrace in luminous union. The perfect moment is now. Make your life a sacred ritual, each breath a prayer, each conscious gesture an offering, each moment of gratitude a bridge between the mutable and the eternal.